Reporter Danny Casolaro was found dead over the weekend in a motel in Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Local authorities quickly ruled his death a suicide.
It just didn't sit right. In my mind, I'm thinking they killed him.
He starts looking into these powerful people.
It all started with the software Promise.
These programs allegedly allowed the CIA to spy on the intelligence agencies that bought it.
The two of them transferred in excess of $40 million.
This money was used to buy off.
A lot of people that reported on there are dead.
All three of them had been shot in the head. We knew who was involved.
There was a wire running from around his neck to his ankles.
There's just too many people dead in this case.
This former NSA guy says, I don't know how you heard that name, but you can get killed just knowing that name.
Can you turn the camera off?
If you think for a minute that you're going to go expose somebody, you're going to get yourself killed.
About a year ago, I saw a documentary on Netflix that stuck in my brain. Because of my background and training in different fields over time, I could see how much of the content was more likely true than not. I also know that if you say these things out loud, some might suspect you are a conspiracy theorist nutbag, but that's okay. This stuff is all happening right in front of our faces, and eventually we're all going to have to face this one way or another. This morning, YouTube fed me a video from a lady named Tara Palmieri. It was about Jeffrey Epstein's possible CIA connections, and she made mention of Robert Maxwell and where he was buried. Robert was of Jewish descent. He escaped the Nazi-occupied Czechoslovakia during World War II and joined the Czechoslovakian army in exile. He landed in Britain as a wartime refugee. After the war, he got a job and started working in publishing, building up Paragon Press to a major academic publisher. After 6 years of serving as a member of British Parliament during the 1960s, now remember he's from a refugee from Czechoslovakia, he was allowed to serve as a member of the British Parliament. Maxwell purchased several media outlets including Macmillan Publishing and The Mirror Publishing. Robert Maxwell was known to be a very litigious person. He would file lawsuits against people who spoke out or wrote against him. He once sued a satire magazine called Private Eye, and although he lost the case, the magazine ended up spending today's equivalent of $1.2 million fighting the case. Sound familiar? Maxwell was accused of distributing a bugged version of a software program called Promise to several national governments and global financial institutions that enabled mass spying by the government of Israel. He was also accused of selling the bugged Israeli version of the Promise software to Sandia National Laboratories and Los Alamos National Laboratory, two of the most important nuclear research and national security facilities in the United States. In November of 1991, Maxwell was scheduled to meet with creditors about his defaulting on $50 million in loans from a bank. Instead of going to the meeting, he went to his multi-million-dollar yacht, the Lady Ghislaine, and was found floating in the ocean shortly afterwards. After his death, all of his companies filed for bankruptcy protection from its creditors. Does this sound familiar? If you haven't guessed by now, Robert Maxwell is Ghislaine Maxwell's father. He was buried at the Mount of Olives Cemetery in Jerusalem. He was in serious debt at the time, and his body had to be relocated and all that jazz. A very expensive series of events. So I asked AI how much it cost just to be buried at Mount Olive, and this is what it said. Then I asked who else of notability is also buried at Mount Olive, and it told me this. Whoa, I can't even afford to visit this place. Bottom line, pretty much all of the corruption, death, despair of the human race can always be traced back to a small group of connected opportunists who are okay with exploiting their fellow human beings. You can be a horrible person and still be memorialized with kings and prophets. I think I'll stay with the poor, unknown, and unaccomplished. Success seems to bring out the worst in people and everyone else pays the price. More dots. There they are, if you take the time to connect them.